Hey sis, come sit with me for a minute. This is where we talk about healing, identity, and patterns. And we remind ourselves that becoming takes grace. Sis, can we talk? Hey sis, I want to ask you a question. Who do you think is closer to reality? I really want you to really think about this. The person who always has people around them, or the person who spends most of their time alone? Whew. Isn't that an interesting question? Now, before you answer, this is not about extrovert versus introverts. This isn't about who's more social, who has more friends. This is something deeper. It's about identity. Because one thing I've noticed is that people are constantly around others. There's always a phone call, a text message, an event, a relationship, a distraction. Always someone around. And while there is absolutely nothing wrong with community, I think there is a question we don't ask often enough. Who are you when nobody is around? Who are you when the room is quiet? And who are you when there is no audience? Who are you when nobody is validating you? Because if you always need people around you, there may never be enough silence to hear yourself. There may never be enough space to question your beliefs. And there may never be enough room to recognize your own patterns. There may never be enough stillness to discover who you really are. Now, on the other side, people often look at those who spend a lot of time alone and assume something is wrong with them. But sometimes solitude is where reality is found. When you're alone, you can't hide from yourself. When you're alone, you meet your fears. You meet your insecurities, you meet your wounds, you meet your habits, you meet your thought patterns. You meet the parts of yourself that are easy to ignore when life is noisy. And let me be clear, sis. Being alone doesn't automatically make someone self-aware. Some people isolate because they're avoiding healing, or they're afraid of connection, or they're just hurt. So this isn't about declaring one group better than another. It's about recognizing a pattern. The person who is comfortable with being alone has usually developed the ability to sit with themselves. And that is a skill many never learn. Because when you sit with yourself, something powerful happens. You stop needing constant validation. You stop needing someone to tell you who you are. You stop needing the crowd to conform or confirm your worth. You stop performing and you start becoming. See, I think one of the greatest fears people have isn't being alone, it's meeting themselves. Because when the distractions disappear, the questions show up. Do I actually believe what I've been taught? Do I actually like the life I'm living? Do I actually know who I am? Or do I know what I want? Those questions can really be uncomfortable, but they are also liberating. Because you cannot become who you were created to be if you never take the time to discover who you are. The crowd can tell you who they think you should be. The family can tell you who they think you should be. Society can tell you who they think you should be. But eventually, every person must sit down with themselves and answer one question. Who am I when nobody else is around? That's real work. That's where clarity is born. That's where healing begins. And that's where transformation starts. Not in the noise, not in the performance, not in the applause, but in the quiet. Since maybe the goal isn't to have more people around you, maybe the goal is to become so comfortable within yourself that whether people are present or absent, you remain connected to who you are. Because the person who knows themselves cannot be easily manipulated. The person who knows themselves cannot be easily controlled. And the person who knows themselves doesn't need the crowd to tell them their value. And sis, that is real freedom. I am Cleo, the pattern recognizer.